You know, again, in part because of people's image of Germany's past, there's probably an expectation that this is all brand new for Germany. They have taken in refugees before, obviously after World War II, although most of those were Germans. During the Balkans Wars of the 1990s, when there was massive bloodshed in the former Yugoslavia, they took in hundreds of thousands of people. And a lot of people have come to seek asylum in Germany over the course of the last 30 or 40 years. That being said, obviously what we're talking about now is an order of magnitude different, because in the last calendar year alone, it was well over 1 million refugees, predominantly from the Middle East, needless to say, from a very different cultural background, fleeing war and oppression. And mixed in with those have been hundreds of thousands of people from other parts of Africa and the Middle East who've come mainly looking for economic opportunities. There was a willingness to receive refugees, and that's in part shaped by Germany's past. I won't overstate that, the degree of a sense of moral obligation and so forth to help people who've been victims of war and persecution. It's very strongly entrenched in Germany. That alone would not, however, explain why they suddenly chose to admit 1 million plus people. That comes down to Angela Merkel, who is the Chancellor, the strongest political figure in Germany and the strongest in decades, frankly. She had a reputation for being somewhat indecisive, perhaps somebody who didn't really take a firm stand on behalf of principle, but was nonetheless very popular for being a kind of an embodiment of what Germany would like to be in the world: respectable, moderate, and so forth. But this was a kind of unusual occasion where she decided to, not entirely on her own, but without perhaps as much consultation as some of her allies and so forth would have liked, she made the decision that Germany should and could absorb 1 million people from the Middle East's wars, predominantly Syria, but also Iraq and elsewhere. And it was a decision she felt, I think, as a former East German. She was born in communist East Germany, as she rarely is somebody who brings up that biography to explain her decisions, but she has on occasion said in the last year that she grew up behind a fence and behind a wall, and she knows what that's like, and she doesn't want Europe to be divided by those kind of walls. She grew up as a daughter of a Protestant pastor, which perhaps gives her a strong sense of kind of Christian obligation. And so she chose to push her government in the direction of making it possible for those people to come in to Germany in the fall of 2015 and leaking into this year.